Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the AI Shift. And this week we're going to talk about how AI systems get smarter, turning feedback into self-improving loops. Welcome to the AI Shift. It's a weekly 15-minute strategy session designed for business owners who want clarity, not complexity. Whether you're stuck in tool overload, scattered workflows, or just unsure where to start, this is where strategy meets execution. It's designed to reset your week, sharpen your thinking, and turn AI from hype into help. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Craig, and it's very good to be with you today on another edition of the AI Shift. And this week, in this edition, we're going to talk about how AI systems get smarter, turning feedback into self-improving loops. So there's a huge difference between an AI system that simply works to save time and an AI system that improves every time it runs, every time it creates a moat around your business, a wall around you and your business with your customers and the business you're building. So there's that big difference. You can be using a system that simply works and saves time, or you can be implementing a system that improves every time it runs. And that is the power of AI. One of the things I remember reading about when they were developing self-driving cars was every time they went out on the road, they learned something in terms of photo identification, what to identify on the road, what happened on the road, and they learned something that improved the performance of the car, of the system next time they went out on the road. So it wasn't just developing a car that drove by itself, it was learning every time it went out. And every car that used that system benefited from the learning. The learning was spread across everyone at the same time. It wasn't like within a human system where if I learn something, the person next to me doesn't necessarily learn the same thing unless I share it. Where with AI, it will flow out across your whole ecosystem, your whole business, if you wanted to. So let's jump into this. And here's where most AI systems quietly plateau. They keep doing the same thing, the same way, at the same level. The workflow runs, the outputs are consistent, but the system never actually improves. So what happens? The same mistakes repeat. The same edge cases reappear. The same business or human or founder interventions stay necessary. That's not scale. That's maintenance. Sorry about that, there's a bit of noise in the background. So let's jump into the myth we're busting this week. And there's a common myth here that we all feel guilty of, and once AI is working, the system is done. That's it. Now I've got some time back to do some stuff. That feels logical. The workflow runs, the actions happen, everything's running nicely, the results are acceptable. But the best systems are never static. The smartest systems don't just run. They learn. AI learns. AI improves from an active feedback system. It will learn. That's how AI has been developed. So the reality is the smartest systems don't just run, they learn. Every exception, every overrode, every escalation is a learning signal. It's not noise. It's not a failure. It is a signal. And this is one of the biggest mindset shifts you can have in terms of utilizing AI within your business operations. Because every time your AI system says, I'm not confident, or every time a human changes the outcome, you've just discovered a place where the operating system can evolve, where it can learn, where it can develop, where it can take your business further, where it can take your results further. So here's the shift that you need to think about and need to work around in terms of your business. Escalations are not interruptions. They are training data for your operating system. So think about that. Now this means the real question is no longer, why did this escalate? Why did the AI system not handle that request, that problem, that issue? The better question is, what can this teach the system next time? And that's where the intelligence and the AI intelligence in your business will compound. Escalations are not interruptions. They are training data. They are learning situations. It is like if you're learning and you go out and speak to customers and they give you an objection. Everyone teaches you to understand the objection, where it came from, and to try and find a solution to it. You're applying the same philosophy, the same thinking to your AI system. You're looking to help it learn and develop so it gets better, so your business gets better. And what we call this is the loop. Very simple. The loop is simple. You have an action, then you have an outcome. You review that. You may change the rules and update them from the result of that action, outcome, and review, which results in a better next action. Action, outcome, review, rule update, better next action. That's your loop. This is the compounding layer. AI acts, a result happens. A human reviews the exception. A new rule, threshold, or routing path gets installed. And then the next action improves automatically. Same workflow, smarter system. Same workflow, smarter system for you and for your business. Now let's look at an example for this to hopefully clarify it a little bit further for you. And last week we spoke about you have VIP customers and where the complaints go direct to the manager of that department, the owner of the business, or someone at a certain managerial level. And last week we spoke about that the system escalated every time a VIP delay complaint came in. So you've marked your customers A, B, C, or prestige, standard, whatever, normal. And then, so certain customers, if they ring up and complain, get put straight through to a certain person. And AI could handle this and they could send it through to whatever that person was. That was safe. But now, the person that receives those complaints reviews them. Reviews the last 10, 20 last week's worth of escalated complaints. And they feed them, they review them with AI, and a pattern appears. And this may be the case of all these complaints over the last week or the last 10. The cases all share that delays order over 7 days, had a negative sentiment, the order value was above a certain threshold, and it was the first complaint. So a new rule gets installed. Auto route to retention specialist, add goodwill offer, manager only notified above $1,000. So before they were notified of every complaint by a VIP customer, now it's only over 1,000. You've implemented a new rule to go to the retention specialist. You have a goodwill offer in place. Anything over $1,000 goes to the owner, to the manager, to the founder, whoever. Same AI, smarter loop. So you've recognized a pattern in there. And you've also worked through your decision making. When this complaint came in, we did this. When this complaint came in, we did this. So you've made the decision. And you've probably actioned that all these complaints under $1,000, we did this offer, we did that. So you're able then to put those rules, those how you make your decisions, into rules, into criteria, and give them to AI. So AI now uses that criteria to make these decisions. And that would be send it to the retention. If it's under $1,000, send to the retention specialist, offer this as a goodwill offer. Above $1,000, send to the manager, to the founder. Same AI, smarter loop. Now you have fewer escalations, faster recovery, better retention, and less manager, founder, business owner involvement. And that's how intelligence will compound in your business operations, and how you run and operate. So this week's shift is choose one repeated escalation, just one. Choose one place where AI escalates often. So hopefully you're starting to use AI in certain things to make decisions because you've delegated certain decisions from last week to AI, or one place where you keep overriding AI's output. Now ask, what pattern keeps repeating? Maybe it's repeated lead exceptions, same content edits, repeated refund edge cases, common support overrides, pricing adjustments. Then do one thing. Turn that pattern into a new rule. Just one thing. That's how your system stops staying flat and starts getting smarter, because you are feeding back into the system your review, your decisions, and the new rules, and it will learn and get better. So, this week, start to build that into your business. The goal isn't fewer exceptions. The goal is exceptions that improve and make the business smarter, the system smarter, and improve the next decision. That's the difference between automation that stays useful and systems that are compound intelligence over time. So the smartest AI systems don't just save effort, they build operational memory. And that's where scale becomes permanent. That's where you take your business to another level. That's where you set yourself apart from your competition. That's where you set yourself apart in the market you're operating in. So that's us for this week. I hope you've got something from that this week, and you are starting to implement AI as a system into your business system. Not as a tool, but as a system that learns and develops and grows. So thank you. Please leave some feedback in the comments, or send us a message about what you would like us to include on future episodes, or just some feedback of what you like, what you dislike about these sessions. That will help us improve. That's our feedback that you give us. We review it, we action it, we implement it, and we learn. And we can only learn if you provide some feedback to us. So please do that. I wish you well for the rest of the week. I wish you a very productive week. Please take some time this week to start implementing this into your business. Just once, in one section. That's all you need to do. Sorry about that. So just do that. And I look forward to catching up with you next week. But until then, enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend.